So about 15 years ago, I thought I had it all figured out. I had a business investigating discrimination complaints for federal government. I absolutely loved that work. I was really good at it. Quentin and I were fairly newly married, so our relationship was wonderful and peaceful and joyful. Great friends. I had a rich spiritual life, really a deep meditation practice that I took part in daily. But still it felt like that there was always something missing. It always felt like I was playing halfway and not quite giving my all. So one day I'm in my meditation time and just sitting in the quiet, and this idea for a book came up. And the whole thing just kind of laid out before me. And it was to be a collection of women's stories about watershed experiences they had had in their lives and the wisdom it taught them. And I finished my meditation time, and after it was over, I thought, well, that's odd. I don't want to write a book. I don't want to interview women. I don't know where that's coming from. So I figured, I believe God is omnipotent and omniscient, but this time, maybe God's made a slight mistake. Couldn't have been talking to me. Maybe my spiritual antenna were on crooked or something that morning. I don't know. But so I just kind of cast that to the side, because certainly you're not talking to me. So I went on about my business and going on with life, thinking I had all my ducks in a row. You know how those ducks are. And this idea, this book, kept coming up. I would see something on TV, and usually it was some celebrity who got herself in some compromising position or something, and I would think, where is her woman tribe? Where are the women in her life who should be whispering in her ear and saying, that's not you, let's pull it together. And those kinds of things kept showing up for me. And, if you're in New Thought for any length of time, then you might be familiar with the cosmic 2x4, where the universe is trying to get your attention.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a tap on the shoulder first, and then it's a whisper in the ear, and then the voice gets a little louder, and then you might be doing something one day, and boom, 2x4 hits you in the head. And so I'm very familiar with the 2x4, because I can be kind of stubborn. But this time, the learning curve's getting a little shorter, and I figure I don't want the 2x4. Maybe I should start paying attention to these messages I'm getting all the time about this woman thing. I don't want to do this, but it keeps coming up. And it made sense to me. I didn't have women in my family. We didn't talk. We didn't talk about what we'd been through. There was nothing, we didn't air our dirty laundry. We just didn't. So there was lots of silence in my family when it came to issues that should have been discussed. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start asking some women that I admire, would they write a story for me about something they'd been through? And I let them choose what they were going to write about, because I believe we all have something we need to tell at some point in our lives. So I started asking people, and then I would see somebody on TV or be referred to somebody, and I got real brave, and I started sending emails. You can find anybody on the internet. I would find people's email addresses, and I would email them, and all these women said yes. And I thought, oh my God, I can't get away from this thing. I was hoping they would turn me down or ask, who are you to do this project? I'm not sending you a story. Every last one of them said, oh my gosh, I'm honored. I want to do that. And I thought, okay, I think I'm in this. I'm stuck. But I started doing these interviews with these women and getting to know them, and they were just fantastic. And every single time I do one of these interviews, I felt like I was at home. I felt like this is my work to do. How could this be true? so they would send me in stories, and they were fantastic. I mean, these women were really opening up their hearts, just like I asked them to. And then I'd get nervous because I would think one of them's going to figure out I'm not that good. And then I really don't know what I'm doing, because I didn't. I'd never done this before. I'd never written a book. I never created an anthology. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just felt like I was a fraud, and one of them was going to call me out on it. And so I would get a story, or somebody else would contact me, and I would just go hide. I would just disappear. I don't have time to do that project. I would throw myself into my other work. I would ignore it. I just wanted to get away from it because I couldn't believe that this was for me. That this much goodness, that this much fulfillment was something that was right for me. So I went back and forth with this thing. I'd jump in it and have fun and realize I loved it, and then I'd leave again. And I'd disappear for months. It took me years, 10 years in all, because there was something I could not see in myself that other people saw in me. So we're going through this process, and we get signs all the time from the universe that you're on the right track, that you're doing the right thing. And it comes in ways that you would never suspect, I think. So Quentin and I are watching a movie one day. We're always watching a movie. There's probably not a day we don't watch a movie. And we're watching Secretariat. And it got to the end of the movie when that horse is running the Belmont. So let's play that now, please. Look at that. Man, my heart is beating like I'm running with that horse.
I know, I checked my Fitbit.
Run it. Took everything I had to scream at the top of my lungs while that's playing. But I tell you what, when I saw that scene, I wept. I mean, I cried hard, like that big, ugly Oprah cry. You know when she talks about the ugly cry? And I watched, something drew me back to that scene, and I watched the scene of that movie every single day for almost a year. And every single day I cried. And wept hard. And then finally one day I'm in my meditation, I watched it again. I'm sitting on the floor of my bedroom, and I just said out loud, what is it about this movie? Why do you keep bringing me here to my knees? And clear as a bell, I heard, because you are a winner at heart. Oh, man. And I was on my knees again in tears saying, me. And Spirit said, yes, you. I had never before in my life, friends, ever put my name and the word winner in the same sentence unless the word not was in front of it. Never. And here was the universe calling to me through that horse. Listen to this from Conversations with God. I have heard you crying, the crying of your heart. I have seen the searching of your soul. I know how deeply you have desired the truth, with a capital T. In pain you have called out for it, and in joy. Unendingly have you beseeched me, show myself, explain myself, reveal myself. I am doing so here in terms so plain you cannot misunderstand, in language so simple you cannot be confused, in vocabulary so common you cannot get lost in a verbiage. So go ahead now, ask me anything. Anything I will contrive to bring you the answer. The whole universe will I use to do this. So be on the lookout. This book is far from my only tool. You may ask a question, then put this book down. But watch, listen, the words to the next song you hear, the information in the next article you read, the storyline of the next movie you watch. the chance utterance of the next person you meet, or the whisper of the next river, the next ocean, the next breeze that caresses your ear. All these devices are mine. All these avenues are open to me. I will speak to you if you will listen. I will come to you if you will invite me. I will show you then that I have always been there. Always. We are being called out. I was being called out into my greatness, to something I'd never done before, which was to write this book. I can't tell you how many times throughout the years I was offered a nice opportunity, a sweet opportunity that would have changed my life, and I ran in the other direction. I did it for 40 years because I was scared to death and knew that that type of life was not for me. That was my truth that I was telling myself. And here was Spirit telling me through a movie, through a horse running a race, that you have the heart of a winner. And it took me to my knees, literally. Friends, Spirit is calling out to each of us with some message, if we will listen, if we will hear, if we will see, if we will stop telling ourselves that we are something else other than divine. So the last day I'm writing this book, I got about 2 or 3 things now to finish that'll take me about 15 minutes to wrap up this book. And I'm sitting on my couch with my laptop, about to finish them, and I'm in tears again. Here we go again, big ugly cry. And I'm wondering, what the heck is going on? 2 things, 2, 3 things. I get to finish this thing. And I start hearing the small me saying, you're not going to finish. You don't finish anything. Every opportunity you had, you ran. You're going to run from this too. And even if you could do it, you won't. Because you don't. That's who you are. You don't finish. And I cried listening to that. And then the still small voice said, you are a winner at heart. This is what I created you for. This is why I brought you here. That's why I called to you in your meditation. Finish the book. And I did that day, through my tears. And 4 days shy of a year later, it was released as an ebook on Barnes & Noble, iTunes, and Amazon.com. What did I do that day? I cried too. Happy tears. Did my happy dance around the house. Yes. Yes. I am a winner at heart. I don't know what the message is for you, but it's coming. You know it's coming. You've heard it. And you keep doing this. You keep saying, I know better. You keep saying, I'm damaged, I'm broken, just like I did. I don't have it. Somebody told me I didn't have it. Maybe your dad told you you didn't have it. Maybe a teacher told you you didn't have it. Maybe a friend told you. Maybe it was a boyfriend, husband, significant other, girlfriend. Somebody, somewhere might have said something to you, and you came into agreement with it and started living from that untruth rather than from the truth with a capital T. That you are divine and capable of anything that is put in your hands. You can handle the truth. And maybe you handle it one step at a time. Because Lord knows, if I had gotten a full picture of some of the things that I've been asked to do right up front, I would have hightailed it in the other direction. It's a blessing to get one step at a time. Because you get to see what's there. And you can say, oh, I can make a phone call. But I can't imagine being in that position. You don't have to imagine that. Imagine yourself in the one step. Imagine yourself in all of your gloriousness. Not this brokenness that you think is you. We've all been through something that we think decimates who we are. And it does not. It is something that has happened. It is not who you are. You are divine, strong, more than capable, here for more than just surviving and getting through. We're here to thrive, to change the world. There's no big or small in this universe. So even if you are someone whose job it is to tell young people how wonderful and treasured and special they are, that is huge. Just as important as someone who cures disease. Or somebody like Oprah, who millions and millions of people see on a regular basis, Deepak Chopra. It's just as important as that. There's no small thing in the universe. All gifts are great and glorious. And go for it. Step into it. This is who you are. And step into it proudly, knowing that I and the Father are one. Yes. Do you know how many times I still think about that horse running that race? Often. And I'm getting ready to take that movie out and watch that sequence again every single day because I need it, because there's something else that's calling me to do through this community and through my business. That every time I look at it, I go, oh, I want to run. But now I know not to run. There's nothing to run from. This is me. The universe has given me every single thing I need to do. And all the resources to do it. And the things I don't have in my hands right now are on their way here. All I have to do is keep taking a step. And the universe responds. But you got to step first before it comes rolling towards you. It doesn't happen while you're sitting in the corner, cowering, contracted, saying, oh, I want it, I want it, I want it. I want it, I'm scared, I want it, I'm scared. Now I say, I'm scared, but I'm doing it. I'm here. And yeah, there are times when I say, come on, Big Red, run this with me. And I can see that horse. I can hear those hoofbeats on the ground. Yes. You got to know what lights your fire and use it. I don't know if you can warp a DVD, but I'll try to warp this thing. Because I need it. That's the thing. Those are the messages the universe is sending you. Use them. They're being sent to you. I know you hear them. I hear them for you. I know they're there. Just breathe into it and say yes. I am a winner at heart. Whatever your message is, repeat it to yourself. I am that. I am doing this. Now, today. You can handle the truth, capital T, truth. That you are divine. That you are capable of things you never, ever guessed, but your soul has. Something deep inside is calling you out. Say yes.